I start this video not knowing where I'm going to go with it or what I'm going to say, but all I can say is that I'm struggling right now. And the last time that I was struggling like this, I made a video very similar like this, and you guys seem to enjoy it. So instead of just creating what I think would be a value packed video this week, I figured I would sit down and just have a bit of a chat because maybe you guys just need to hear that you're not so alone and you're struggling in the same way, and just need to hear that it's okay. I originally started this journey because I'm afraid to just like work my whole life and like die before I get a chance to live it. Like that's been my fear, my whole life. And
That's so real, right? Like at the end of the day, I think we all have that feeling. How many people have felt that in the chat right now? I have never heard anybody articulate it that way, but she is totally right. Like I think we all pursue entrepreneurship, trading, because we just have this fear of like, man, I don't want to be the person that leaves this earth. And we know now more than ever, people are leaving this earth at all different ages. You don't have to be, 80, 90 years old to leave. Like we just don't want to die and have never truly experienced living. And she just, oh my gosh, she hit the needle on the head when she just said that.
I'm kind of at this point in my trading where I feel as though I'm so close to being profitable. Like I see it. It feels like it's on the table in front of me, but I can't seem to grab it. And it comes back to losing and fear. And it actually comes back to why I started this to begin with, which is a large amount of fear of working your whole life and just dying before you get a chance to live it. Like that core fear, that deep rooted fear within me causes me to do things in the market that stop me from being profitable. And when I first started this journey, I read Best Loser Wins, right? Everyone's heard it from Tom Hoggard. And I have revisited it this week because I feel it's exactly what my problem is. I look at my journal and I have good winning days, right? But as soon as I've kind of had like $150 day, I'm like, okay, cool. Like I check out because I've had a long day. I work a full-time job and I do videos on the weekend. So when I've had a winning day and feel like, okay, like that's respectable, I just walk away. And then on days where I take a loss, I can take a loss at my stop loss. I've never had an issue with that. But what I then do is re-enter and re-enter and re-enter. And like it's only come to realization that the only reason I'm not profitable right now is deep-rooted fear. I don't trade anymore when I'm winning because I'm fearful to lose the profits I have. And then even within singular trades is the same thing. I take profits because I'm fearful of losing the profit I have. And Tom Hoggard actually said something regarding this. He said, it is a failure to take a trade at its peak profit potential. And he knows that he's never going to be taking it there because he wants to allow it to possibly be a bigger trade. And that really sat with me for a moment because I realized I hadn't been doing that. And although I can like accept the loss and let my stop loss be hit, I try and re-enter. Like I'm stubborn. I want to be right. Yeah. And I think that's linked to me going, not an ego thing necessarily, but more of a struggle to, oh, if I'm wrong on this trade, that means I can't be profitable, or I don't have the ability to be profitable because I should be smart and I should be able to judge the market and trade well and win a lot, right? Like it's all linked to that.
Yeah, yeah. And then also another side of that, what I noticed is a lot of times, like a lot of us are like first generation traders in our family. And so the only experience we can kind of like have when it comes to this is what we've always done and what we've seen around us, which is work. And so we go to work and every 2 weeks, every month, however we get paid, there's a check. There's a reward for the work we put in. And I think sometimes, because this is what I have had to like rationalize and just remind myself over the course of the years, is that like trading, it doesn't work like everything else works. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can backtest, you can study, you can do all of that stuff, but you don't have to be right. The market doesn't have to go your way, Calvin. And the market definitely, it just doesn't have to pay you, Calvin. And I think that's the hard part. That is hard for us. And maybe like that's what she's trying to bring out as well. But as she said that, it just reminded me of that, because a lot of times we think like, no, like I did my analysis, you know, and this is what I've been back testing and it worked last week. Like I should be catching this trade and this trade should go in said direction. But a lot of times the market just, it just does not, structure just is not being respected, and the market is just doing what the market does. So can definitely relate to the, like what she's saying for sure.
And it's just everywhere in my journal. It's everywhere. I look at how many days I'm green, which is great, right? And it's about a 60 to 40% ratio between losing days and winning days. But the problem is my losing days are always very big, because I always go to my max loss for the day because I cannot lose.
Gotcha.
And there is just so much self-doubt right now, because this week I really tried to focus on fixing that and I couldn't. And up until this point, I used to always say back in school that I loved math because there's always an answer. I hated English because it's, you know, there's so many different words like there, hair, you know, whatever, all those different words, punctuation, different ways of doing things. I didn't like it, but math, there was always an answer. And I feel as though with my trading journey, up until this point, there's always been an answer to fix things. You know, I read this wrong. I did this wrong. I could have done that better. But where I am at right now, it's a psychological thing, and it's the toughest battle that I've been through, because I doubt that I can actually fix it. And, you know, I feel like I've done the work, right? I've done the 1% improvements. It's really, I used to be so depressed because I had no purpose in life. And now I feel like I have so much energy that I can't sleep at night because I've got this purpose, because I feel like I've got this huge road in front of me and I'm trying to get to the destination. And that's great. And it's fueled me in this huge way. And I feel like I've improved my health because of it, right? Because, you know, you can't come to the trade and perform good if your health's not right. So I've become more optimized in that area of my life. I've become more organized because I had to somehow squeeze in a YouTube channel, trading, and a full-time job and family and all of the rest. I've become a better person, but it's come to a point where all of a sudden there's this huge hurdle in my way and I don't really know how to get rid of it. And self-doubt is starting to creep in, because when you change a technical thing and you go, okay, I didn't read that right, and you genuinely know you didn't read that right, or you have something tangible to be able to fix, and a lot of the time you can just stop doing that thing. But when it's psychological, that battle itself, you could say, just stop taking that extra trade or stop chasing that trade or whatever it may be. It's an internal battle, and it's so ingrained, and it's the whole reason why you're trading to begin with.
Yeah.
That fear that created that. And I feel like up until this point, I've done a good job at detaching from the outcomes, right? I've been losing for some time now. Even my YouTube hasn't been doing the best lately. And I've just kind of detached myself from the outcome. It was a bit of a process. Like I sit down, I record the video on the weekends. I trade every night or whatever it may be. And it's just become a process in the way I live for the bigger goal. But I've realized that I've been able to do that because I haven't actually detached myself from the outcome.
What I think here, right? And she's going, like, she articulates how she feels so well, you know? But a couple thoughts from my perspective, right? I definitely think that there comes a time, especially when you realize that I'm doing everything I can do in terms of like I'm reviewing the trades, as she mentioned. And yes, there are trades where she mentioned that she missed something technically, but at some point, you do everything and the trade just doesn't go your way. And so you just get to a point where you just got to accept it. And so what she's acknowledging is like there's something internal, psychological, how she thinks that is making her feel so just doubtful about her progression, even though she knows she's growing, because she's literally acknowledging that like I've become so like purpose filled since I've been on this journey of YouTubing and trading. So she's acknowledging and she knows that she's become a more driven person, but it's just like for some reason she can't stop the self-doubt. And so this is where I would agree where it really becomes something that's psychological. And this is when we as traders, we got to go get therapy. Like I started doing therapy last year. I believe that we should get therapy and not just like a trading psychologist, but we need to think outside of trading because this is something, and she's articulating it so well. This is something outside of trading. This is about us, right? Here's how I see it. It's the equivalent of, and you can compare it to when you see someone that's in a just horrible relationship. It's a dangerous relationship. It's a toxic relationship. And it seems like we all know somebody or have known somebody that has just been attracted to toxic relationship after toxic relationship. And so they end up leaving one bad person being in a relationship with them and they end up literally finding a totally different person, but who ends up actually being the same person that they were in the past toxic relationship with. Does anybody can anybody recall knowing somebody like that? Or maybe it was you, right? It just seems like certain people just they leave one person for another person, but they end up still dating the same person over and over again. And it's like they try and they go to different places. Oh, I met him at church. Oh, I met her at the script club. Oh, I met her at the library. And they try different environments, but they keep attracting the same type of person. Well, that's similar to what she's saying. At this point, it's like it's not an action thing. There is something internal about that person that they need to start unlocking. Maybe it's a childhood thing, or maybe it's something was taken away from them young, or maybe they saw a parent. It has to be unlocked. And this is when therapy, just general therapy, right? This is when that comes into play. And y'all know, like, if you've been rocking with me for a while, like y'all know that I ain't really believe in all that stuff, even though my wife is a therapist, licensed therapist in multiple states. Like y'all know, like I never really believed in that stuff until I started actually getting therapy last year. And I started to see how I really have been through some things and I've really been brought up a certain way that has carved the way that I see life. And we have to start unpacking that. And the best way to unpack it is not to just zero in on trading and try to fix trading stuff, but to really be better people and get broader perspectives on life that can challenge how we've seen life. And then we grow thereby. All right. And so I really she's sparking some really, really good conversations. And I don't know if she does therapy or not. And maybe she watches this, but I would really, because I did it. Like I did therapy. I started therapy last year and it opened up a lot of stuff in me. And it allowed me to see myself in a way that I have never really seen myself. I would just recommend, if she's watching, sis, like if you haven't done therapy, I would definitely try it out for sure, because I feel like you articulate yourself so well and how you feel so well that you can really unlock some things and it'll really help you go to the next level. All right, let's keep listening to sis and let's see what sis got to say.
I haven't accepted that maybe I will work my whole life before I get a chance to truly be free and live it.
No, you will not. No, you will not. You gonna do this, sis. You will not. And that's what those thoughts try to come in and say. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what she's saying. Like those thoughts try to make her feel that way. Like you just gonna keep working all your life. You never gonna have. Nope. You will not. We speak against that in the name of Jesus, sis. You gonna make it. You gonna make it.
And I feel like the only way for me to become profitable is if I am able to accept that. If I am able to truly give myself up to this journey and be like, I'm okay with doing this for the rest of my life. And to me, that is a hard pill to swallow, not because I don't enjoy what I do or don't enjoy trading or making videos. It's hard because I miss out on other things that I like doing, like spending time with my family, being more connected, maybe just watching a damn comedy show after a long day at work rather than trading. Call me stupid, like call me not motivated. Like, trading forced me to get over the person I was, and I've become a whole new person, but I feel like it's forcing me into this area of facing my deepest fear. And I don't know how to continue doing it. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I feel like I used to come to these videos and go, I've implemented this. I am lost for how to actually fix it. Is it just acceptance?
So I just think, fam, this is the part of the journey where, and I've been here, like I think it was 2023 where I just really felt like I was on the verge of being done. And that was because I pushed past that a little bit more. I discovered and started implementing market structure and approaching the market from a structure standpoint. And that was like the beginning of a whole fresh perspective for me, which now was the best decision ever in my trading because it made me just the confident trader that I am today. But I think there's a certain point where you have to just say, this is my time for trading, and that's it. Like, I'm no longer giving trading the rest of my life. And I feel her right now because I feel like maybe she came in so strong and just going all in, and she's doing content as well. Content is stressful in the beginning. Like, I've been there, documenting my journey from the beginning. And so I know what that feels like when you got people watching you and you putting your emotions and your raw energy out there in real time. I know what that's like. That's pressure in itself, let alone being a trader. And so I just think this is the point, my sister here, I think this is the point where if I'm in her shoes at this point, just given what I know from being on this journey and being there, this is the point where you limit trading and you live your life at the same time. And you just accept the fact that this is going to happen and it's going to take time. And I'm willing to continue to show up, and I'm willing to continue to grind. I'm willing to continue to back test. It don't mean I got to miss out on hanging out with friends. It don't mean I got to be in the charts all the time. I can still have time for me. All right. But this is the part where you acknowledge this is going to take some time, but that's okay though. Because like I always say, profitability will sneak up on you. Things can move really fast once you get your aha moment. So this is the point, my sister, where I would say, start living again, start going out. Don't separate yourself anymore. Start opening yourself up. Okay. Get around people. All right. And just live a little bit. Now, I ain't telling you like, forget, you know what I'm saying? Forget that you got to be grounded in these markets. I ain't saying that, but live a little bit more, like give yourself a little bit more of a leash than you've been giving yourself.
Making a video like this is hard because I don't have answers. And some people may be watching this and going, why are you still journaling or documenting this journey? And I do it for me right now because I wish there was something out there. You know, you have people like Tom writing books called Best Loser Wins, or you have Umar Ashraf, who's created this amazing software called TradeZella, all because he liked trading one day and he became a successful trader. Or you've got Tory Trades, who trades very simple and life is so easy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. All right. Now, I've never met Tom Hagar, but I've met Tory, had conversation with Tory, interviewed Tory, and I have had a private call with Umar from TradeZella. And life is not, just easy. It may look that way, but it's not. These individuals work and they work a lot and they work very, very hard. These individuals have moments and times where they get burnt out and they just got to stop doing content or stop working on things and just take a break. They deal with things that you deal with, and they have dealt with everything that you're dealing with, but they have learned how to get away. And they've accepted the fact that they don't have to do everything within a certain timetable. All right. For TradeZilla to get to where it's at now, and I know specifically because I've spoken to Umar about this about 2.5 years ago. He called me and we spoke about this, but he went through months of burning like $15,000 a month trying to build TradeZilla to what it is today. And it was stressful. It was hard. It was a lot of money he had to put into it. And so he's felt how you're feeling. And I can tell you that. All right. So I don't want you to feel that, sis, like it's all great for them, because I know I've spoken to both of them. And so they've gone through things too, and they still do, but they just know how to detach, and they know how to live a little bit, and they know how to, just understand that certain things take time. All right. And Rome isn't going to be built in a day. Okay. And like they understand those principles, but don't ever think that somebody's just living and it's all great, because they've had to go through the things that you're going through now to get to that space. And even where they are now, there are still challenges at a whole nother different level with so much more weight. All right. So I want to encourage you, sis.
But you never really saw them at the struggling point. You never really see what they actually had to go through to get to where they are.
There you go.
And it causes delusion, so people quit earlier. It causes people like me who look at myself and go, maybe I just can't do it. Maybe I can't fix this fear. Maybe I can't fix this psychological issue that I'm having. Maybe I am the 99% and I can't be that 1%. And that thought in itself keeps me up at night at the moment. I sit in bed, not able to sleep, because I feel like there is something more that I should be doing so I can make my dream a reality. So I can become successful one way, shape, or form. And I'm exhausted. And at times like this, where I keep running through my trading journey, I've ran into issue after issue after issue, and I've been able to overcome that issue. At some point, you feel, I don't know how much more I can take. And not so much because I'm not willing to deal with the challenge, but more because I get up, I go to work, I journal on my break, I work some more, I trade, I go to bed, I repeat, I record videos on the weekend, and I do it all over again. And you then start to almost, your whole being changes. You feel like everything you are is just what you're trying to achieve rather than just being you.
Yep.
And I felt like that's why I also had to sit down and do a video like this, because I just wanted to connect with yous again. I just wanted to feel like people understood this channel to what I really want it to be. And I like sharing what I feel has helped me in really good ways for you guys to be able to watch. But I'm selfish. I feel like I want more than that. I want more of you guys than that. I want connection with you guys. And sometimes I don't want to share what you should be doing better or what I should be doing better. And I just want to vent to you guys. I just want to go, man, me too.
That's it.
Because I think that in itself would make you feel like things were possible, because you're not the only one that's struggling with this. You're not the only one that feels helpless because they can't seem to not take that chase trade because of some psychological barrier that they have. I just don't know how long I can keep doing this. I eat healthy, I exercise, I try and meditate, I try and prep, I try and journal, both trades and just writing in a journal. I feel like I've tried every fad you could possibly think of to keep my head on and keep it focused and keep it performing at its best. And trading has forced me to become that person. I just don't know how much more it wants from me. And maybe that's my issue. Maybe I just need to surrender.
Yep. And just give it time. That's it. You know what I'm saying? When you've done all that you can do, you just stand. That's it. You just got to wait for your time. Like, success is like a Ferris wheel. I've always used this analogy. Success is like a Ferris wheel. And if you've ever been on a Ferris wheel, you know when you first get on, you're going to probably stop multiple times before you make it to the top. Okay? Because when you get on, there are other people that are getting off. But everybody on the Ferris wheel gets their opportunity at the top to get the amazing view, to take a selfie, to do whatever they want to do. Everybody on the Ferris wheel gets their time at the top. And so that's what your trading journey is like. That's what success is like. You're building a YouTube channel. That's what that is like. Everybody gets their turn at the top. Your job is just to do the work. Don't exhaust yourself though, right? Everything that I've heard, everything I've heard our sister say thus far is like, I'm doing everything. Yes, that's awesome. But you cannot control when it happens, when profitability happens. So what you have to do is you got to step back and start pacing yourself. It's the equivalent of like somebody that at the beginning of the year, they start going to the gym. You're not going to last if you're coming in the gym and you just going full throttle on leg day. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to sustain itself. You got to come in gradually, pace yourself. All right. And just go just go at a pace, basically. Like, you can't come in going full throttle on leg day and then, you benching the next day and you going full throttle. You're going to gas yourself out. Your body isn't used to being at that type of performance level consistently. You can't go from zero and just shoot up. So just pace yourself. Slow down a little bit. Like I said before, start living again, going out, hanging out a little bit, not too much, but hang out a little bit. All right. And just live and just keep gradually pursuing this, and profitability will sneak up on you.
Stop trying to fight it. Stop trying to fight that fear. It's funny how you read books or watch videos at the start of your journey because you just binge everything. And then you come back later down your journey and you go, oh my God, why didn't I listen to this? Or, oh my God, like you feel like you've never heard it before. And it's because you didn't need it at that moment. And I feel like that's what Best Loser Wins is for me right now. So I guess I push anyone out there that is feeling this way, that is feeling as though everything in their trading, you feel like you're so close to being a profitable trader, but something psychological is making you do whatever it is that's kind of keeping that from you. And for me, if you guys have been following the series, you know what that is. It's constantly just like not being able to accept a singular loss if I feel like it should have been a win. And I just trade and trade and trade. And I push for anyone who's feeling like that, because up until that point, you're fixing technical issues. You're fixing issues that you know that are needing to be fixed because you're making some mistake when you're reading the chart or analyzing the chart. And the reason why you keep just continuously making this mistake and nothing's really changing and you're like plateauing in your performance is because it's no longer technical. And that can be a lot harder to fix. So I urge anybody out there that's feeling that way to maybe go back and read the books that you read at the beginning of your journey. Because I know you probably binged a million books, especially Best Loser Wins, because I can almost guarantee you at that point in your trading journey is when you need to listen to that book and listen to Tom Hoggard's podcast or talks around this.
This is a video she's going to come back to when she's successful. I believe she's going to be successful for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that she won't be successful. And she's going to be able to come back to this. And like she said, the traders she look up to, she don't really see them in the midst of the journey. But now when she becomes successful, her followers are going to be able to come back to this video and see her going through her journey. And so this is a beautiful silver lining where it's like, you're now going to become who the people you look up to just weren't able to kind of like fill the gap that you're now filling. And so that's a beautiful thing. So sis, Calvin saying, I salute you. Calm down, take some time. You're going to be just fine. I feel like, You are very passionate about what you do. I feel like you're going to be successful, and just keep being who you are and just enjoy yourself a little bit. You'll be fine. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this video, what you think about what sis said, and how you feel. Like, are those some things that you can relate with? Are those some things that you haven't faced yet? If you have faced them, what are some things that you did to help you get over the hurdle and reach where you are today? All right. Catch you guys next time.